1223, 1590 WAKR, 330-370-1590, the number if you want to join in. All right, so from the story about the crazy preacher in Texas who was yelling at kids about Santa Claus, I would imagine that same preacher might yell at our next guest too, but that's okay because his idea is pretty cool. Tom Hammond is on the hotline right now.
Hello.
Now, Tom is a computer lab support specialist at Wayne College, one of the UA campuses, but that's not what he is most known for anymore. You see, Tom has a website called itwinkle.org where you can control his Christmas lights, and he joins us on the hotline right now. Tom, thanks for being with us.
Yeah, thank you.
So where did you get the idea to do something like this?
Well, this kind of thing started about maybe 3 or 4 years ago, and I've always been captivated with the neighborhoods that have the color light-coordinated Christmas lights with music and all this kind of stuff. And sometimes you'll see one home doing it, and sometimes there'll be several homes working together, and they've always captivated me. So, but those kind of displays cost thousands of dollars, and so something kind of out of my budget. So I went on the internet looking around at things, and I met this. I found this website of this fellow from Australia. His name's Keith Wesley. 4 years ago, and he hacks Christmas lights. So what he does is he'll take lights off store shelves, and they normally animate with a little control box. He'll cut off the control box and connect them through what's called an Arduino, which is a little microcontroller that makes a whole bunch of strings work together. So over the course of 3 years, we've been pen pal friends. He helps me with the stuff I put together. If I have problems, he helps figure things out, and he invents his own stuff. So basically, it takes store-bought lights, and then you can connect them to this Arduino, and then with free software, you can make them all work together like they're one coordinated display.
Wow!
And so it basically takes store lights, and instead of thousands of dollars, it's much more affordable stuff for this kind of stuff.
Yeah, because I always thought you see these huge extreme Christmas light displays all over the place, and I often wonder how many zeros are on the end of their bill for that at the end of the season. But not too expensive in this case. Not
really, and but again, what makes this kind of possible is community, and so the way this kind of works is you buy lights, you go to Lowe's or whatever, you buy the lights, you connect them to something called an Arduino, which is a little tiny baby computer called a microcontroller, and you get them on Amazon for $10-15, and microcontrollers run just about anything in your house. You'll find a microcontroller inside your microwave, inside your thermostat, and basically Keith wrote the program that knows how to talk to those lights. And so once you have the microcontroller done, you create your animations with a free program on the internet. It's called X-Lights. It's professional light animation software. So you make all your animations on X-Lights on a normal computer. You save those animations to a file, and then you can run those animations on a little tiny computer called a Raspberry Pi. So wow. basically, it's all like a Raspberry Pi is like a $35 computer.
Wow.
So what happens is when people go to itwinkle.org, when they click on links on the website, that comes into my house. Those commands, those go into the little Raspberry Pi that simply plays back the animations. So it goes in there, and then the Raspberry Pi says, well, somebody clicked on the rainbow effect, so it'll play. It'll tell the Arduino, tell these lights to turn off and on. And I might have maybe 16 or 20 different strings that normally when you buy them in the store, they all sort of work independently of each other. They don't know about each other. Well, with this system is they all plug into one box, and then the Raspberry Pi can make them all work their one together kind of show.
Now, are there set animations? Because I would imagine you wouldn't want to open up to the internet to do whatever they wanted with your house. That could end poorly, I would think.
Yeah, it plays like a normal kind of show during the evening, and when people click on links, it'll stop what it's doing just for you and play some of those canned animations. There's like 8 choices in there right now, and so it has a camera. So when you go there, you can actually see the house and see the lights working and everything. So it's been a wonderful ride. The first 3 years of this, it just played back animations that you just watched. You just had to go by from the road and see it. And Keith told me earlier this year, he said, let's take everything we've done the last 3 years. He had his own custom programming language for the animation and all this stuff. He said, let's toss it out the window, and let's try something totally different. So basically, the lights are Internet accessible. They all connect through Ethernet cables. Use a nice graphical program to make your animations to do rainbows or wipes or fades. And and it just took off. And what's been fun about it is people really like this kind of stuff. And I think the first day I had this thing turned on, I put one message on my Facebook, and I had about 800 people one evening trying to change my lights. So, and but again, what makes this possible is the help of many people. And my friend Keith Wesley in Australia just has been a wonderful, wonderful friend. Thousands of miles away, thought I would never meet him. He came actually to visit last Christmas, and we drove around Ohio looking at Christmas lights. Another really good friend of mine, Rod Steinball, we go to area maker fairs, which are like science fairs.
Yeah.
We've been taking the Christmas lights everywhere, showing it to people. And another friend, Barry Romick, he's an electrical engineer. So when I have problems with things I can't figure out, he steps right in. We build things together, and I'm not the one that's the inventor of this stuff. This is through the help of many, many people.
Sure. And
it brings a lot of happiness to people, too.
Absolutely. Now, do you have, people on the website getting in fights? Like, one person wants confetti, the next person wants snow. They just go back and forth clicking both?
No. So far, it just overrides whatever else someone's doing. It'll play what you've clicked on for about 30 seconds, and then it'll continue its normal show throughout the evening. But what's nice is it'll show you also on the website who's been clicking on the lights and what countries and what states they're from and cities and areas. And I've had France, I've had China, I've had Canada, Denver, and right in the front yard, there's a scrolling marquee box, and it'll tell people driving by who's currently changing the lights.
Oh, cool.
So you might be watching the lights, and then someone from China is currently controlling the lights, or Russia or something like that, which is very much possible. And I've been getting people sending me emails saying, I'm from France and I was working on your lights, and I thought it was a blast.
You get people from Russia playing with the lights. All of a sudden, that's going to be like a New York Times story before too long.
They haven't hacked into the system yet, so I'm kind of...
They've graduated from emails to Christmas lights. We need a congressional investigation into this.
Yeah. And another thing that makes all this kind of stuff possible, this is, the big thing is it's community and friends and people like Rod and Barry and Keith and all this. But this whole thing of a maker mindset, it's called being a maker and being inventive. Taking something that you buy in the store and you change it to do something totally different, totally wonderful. These maker fairs is a place where people come together. Like over at Wayne College in Orrville, we have something called a 3D lab, which is a maker space, and people come together to invent these kind of projects. Students, community members, and that kind of thing. And on May 20th. Next year, we're having a huge maker fair at Wayne College, our very first one, and these things are all over the world. So if you want to see these lights, how they work, or if you want to learn more about other kinds of crazy projects, that's where you go for that kind of stuff. They're really wonderful. And
you're going to be doing something tomorrow on the main UA campus, right?
Yeah, I'll be bringing a sample of the controller system and the Raspberry Pi and Arduinos and some lights, and just show people sort of how the system works. And it's kind of it's not hard to do, and I like helping people try to put this kind of stuff together, and it's really because people like Keith has been helping me for 4 years on this stuff, and there's nothing in it for him. He helps me out of the generosity of his heart, and we just it's just people helping each other, and so yeah, I'll be at the at University of Akron EXL Center at 10 o'clock in the morning, sort of showing this kind of stuff off. But we've been going to maker fairs. Rod and I have been going places, showing people how the light systems work, and people love it. Kids love it. It just brings a little bit of magic. When they kind of see that kind of stuff, that you can really do that, and kids' eyes light up, and parents are thinking that's I can actually do this kind of stuff. It's really possible.
This is cool stuff. Well, hey Tom, thank you so much for being with us. A very Merry Christmas to you as well. We appreciate it.
You too as well. Thank you.
Tom Hammond, the website itwinkle.org. You can control his Christmas lights. And they've got little buttons here that you can press. They don't, you can't put it out to the internet and say, put up whatever you want on the side of my house, because if you did that, I suppose you would go from snowflakes and Christmas carols to crying Jordans and the thong song real quick. So you don't want to do that, but they've got all kinds of little custom things that you can click on, and it'll show it on the side of his house. Not now, of course, because it's 12:30 in the afternoon, but in the evening from 5 to midnight, you can go to itwinkle.org and play with Tom's Christmas lights. He was making me hungry, by the way. All that Raspberry Pi talk. Now I've got the sweet tooth going. 12:33 right now. 1590 WAKR.